Here's another way that you know that someone's lying or delusional, all right? People who have done it for real have proof, okay? Concrete proof, not lies flying out of their mouth. They actually have proof. So for example, let's say somebody uh they are an expert on karate or jujitsu or something along those lines. Their belt color changes because as you advance, your belt for your gi, which is the outfit that you wear when you do your karate, for example, the white outfit is called a gi, and the belt changes color depending on how advanced you are in your learning. So you will see a gi or you will see their belt. You will see pictures. You will see pictures of them when they went to competition. You will talk to family and friends who say, "Oh yeah, we went to their tournament in such and such a place." There's going to be concrete evidence, not just words flipping out of someone's mouth. There will actually be proof. Sometimes there's newspaper articles showing this person doing whatever it is that they were doing. Um, they have a degree in it, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. You can make a degree on the computer. Um, but there will be evidence and other people will know. Like I said, family and friends will be like, "Yeah, I remember we did such and such," or "I remember when you had that huge tournament, we had to go out of state for it," or you know, pictures of them graduating from college, for example. I don't believe that manipulationship boy. I don't think he ever graduated college. There's no proof. Your family would be there unless they're tired of you. They would usually be there. They'll be more than happy to take pictures of you walking across the stage accepting, you know, your quotation marks degree. Um, they would have proof. Pictures are proof. This is the college that this person went to. This is when they graduated. There would be evidence somewhere. People like to document things like that to go in the photo album, the family album. Parents are proud of their kid and therefore they're more than happy to show you pictures of this is when we were doing this, this is when we were doing that. Here's a newspaper article. There's actual proof. If they don't have any concrete proof and their friends and family don't have a clue what you're talking about, that's a strong possibility that all of that was lies. Okay. So this person doesn't only manipulate you, they manipulate everybody else because they're trying to create this false image. And the lies, I mean, they could just stare you right in your eyes and not blink and lie their damn ass off. So it gets to the point, most people that I have dealt with, people have changed a lot over the years and not for the better. But back in the day, when people were more authentic, they had no problem showing you proof. And I don't mean they're proving that they're not lying. They're excited to share with you. This is my trophy for this. This is my trophy for that. And I don't mean in a bragging way, but it has their name on it, so you could tell that that's really theirs. Here's, again, like I said, newspaper article. Here's my mom could tell you all about it and how that trip went when we went there for that, or whatever the case is. There's going to be proof. And if the person has no evidence, you don't see any physical proof. You don't see the hammock that they supposedly hung over the gorge. You don't see that. They don't show you any ropes. They don't show you any safety equipment. They don't show you anything. It's just words flipping out of their mouth, doing cartwheels out of their mouth. That means they're lying. That means they're lying. Because I never saw manipulation ship boy. I never seen him go in the garage and looking for any equipment or saying, "Well, why don't we go look at the ropes? Why don't we go check out the equipment?" He never went in there and showed me any of that because it doesn't exist. If a person, even on a smaller scale, like you're going to do something not life defying, you're going to go fishing and you asked your friend to go with you. I've got a fishing pole that you're gonna love. Really? Let's check them out. So your friend's over your house, you're gonna be like, all right, let's go in the garage or wherever I guess in the garage, wherever people store their stuff. Let's go in there and take a look at the fishing poles that I have, because I've got one that I think you're gonna like. You're gonna see if this person's supposedly an expert fish, uh, you know, uh, uh, fishermen, I do competitions. They're gonna have proof of that. You're gonna see physical proof of that. Um, it's not gonna just be words, you know? If they have tons of experience, they're gonna know everything about fishing rods. They're gonna know everything about bait. They're not gonna just have word fly out of their mouth and there's absolutely zero proof to what they're saying. No proof at all. Like me, I don't have them anymore, but I was a dancer. So I had unitards, ballet slippers, I had costumes, I had all kinds of things, and my grandma was well versed on me going to practice and stuff like that. I was part of a dance and acting group when I was in New York. And my grandma, if she was still alive, she would be more than happy to tell you, oh, yeah, she performed such and such, and she was part of she went to the Alvin Ailey's dance studio, and this and that to practice and whatnot. There's proof. My costumes, like I said, my ballet shoes, all of that is proof. I don't have that anymore just because that was many, 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 many moons ago. But again, if my grandmother was still alive, she would be more than happy to tell you, yeah, she'd been dancing off and on for years. She was part of Mind Builders in New York. So, yeah, and part of I've seen her perform. So, yeah, she's done all that. So even if the person doesn't have physical evidence anymore, someone will verify that, if they're not a liar, they will verify that. And my grandmother had reason or need to lie about that. I'm not going to pay her to lie for me, but I'm not a fake. So there's that. But, people are more than happy to show you proof. I'll give you another prime example. I have known, and there's videos on YouTube where people, they actually kept it a secret what they were doing, okay? And they invited their family member or their closest friend to go flying with them, and their friend was blown away because they didn't know that the friend invited them because their friend's actually a pilot. They completed their pilot's license. And the person sitting there totally shocked, like, wait a minute, are you supposed to be doing this? And they may play it off like, oh yeah, they know I like to play on the runway. Meanwhile, they take the airplane up in the air. Why? Because they have their pilot's license and they didn't tell you. But you see proof that they have their license because they're actually flying a plane. They're not getting arrested and getting snatched to the ground for jumping on private property or FAA property. I mean, they have proof that they have a licensure. They're on the property, they have gotten inside of a plane and they fly off and they know what they're doing, and that's proof. If a person has no proof at all, they don't know anything about it, they're just talking out the left side of their neck, chances are they're lying. And that's not the type of person that I would want to be involved with. That is not the type of person I want to be friends with. That is not the type of person I even want to be acquaintances with, because you're not authentic. You're trying desperately. You feel like the size of an ant. So you're trying desperately to perpetrate that you're this, that, and the other when A, there's no proof, and B, you're lying, and C, that's the only way that you could feel like you are somebody. You're trying to attach yourself to something that's bigger than you. I call that a puffer fish. Some people are pufferfish. They blow themselves up bigger than they actually are because they want people to be in awe of them. Okay? Some people have gotten busted in their lives, and I think that's great. If someone says, yeah, I was in the military and I've been in the military for X amount of years, one day they're going to actually meet someone who was in the military. And when that person throws questions to them and they don't know the answer, they got busted in a huge lie, because if you were in the military, you would know what he's talking about. So if you're standing there going, right, they're lying, you know? That person is inauthentic. They are pufferfish. What does a pufferfish do? They literally blow themselves up bigger so that their enemies don't want to mess with them, because they're like, yeah, that thing is too big for me to even grab a hold of. I'm out of here. They do that on purpose. People do the same thing. I did this, I did that, and then there's people that like to outdo you. If you climbed Mount Everest, they climbed Mount Everest and they fell off of it and they survived, okay? Which is absolutely absurd, ridiculous, and unheard of and nonsensical. I don't understand. It's weird to me that people have to compete with other people and be bigger than them and outdo them. Everything that you've done, I've done better. No matter how extreme yours was, I did something even more extreme. So you got stung by a jellyfish. Well, I got swallowed by a whale. And he spit me out when he realized that I wasn't his normal diet, which is absurd. Absolutely absurd. So, like I said, you'll normally see proof. Family and friends will know, if they're not lying. Okay. They will verify what that person said. If that person says to you, they feed you a bunch of BS and then tell you don't mention that in front of other people, obviously that's a lie, because if you were to mention it, they don't want to risk their friends and family knowing that they're lying, because they'll be like, why are you running around telling people that you did this or that? You never did that. What are you talking about? They don't want to be humiliated. So they'll tell you, yeah, don't mention that in front of so and so, don't mention it in front of so, because they know that they're lying and they know they're full of it. Okay? And like I said, I don't ever want to be connected to somebody who can't tell the truth. I don't ever want to be in a situation where everything I say is a competition with someone else. They're competing with me. Oh yeah, I spent the night in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and I didn't have food or water for 6 months and I survived. I ate snow. Sure you did. Sure you did. Now, I'm not saying there aren't extreme cases. There are extreme cases where a person was out on the ocean, stranded for X amount of time, and they survived for however long they were out there. There are extreme cases, but you will see that in the news. You will see news clippings about it. You will see media videos on it, channels such and such is showing, yeah, this person got bit by a shark, multiple bites, and survived. That person doesn't have to brag. There's going to be proof. Channel so and so talks about it, and they show you on camera if you are the person that this happened to. So there's going to be some sort of proof, okay? And if a person claims that they're a camping expert, when you're at their house, they will show you some of the things they have. Let's pretend that you're into camping too, and you're like, "Oh, I'm into camping too. I don't know the first thing about equipment." That person will be more than happy to show you what they have. Well, this is what you probably want to start off with. This is my tent. Here's my flashlight. This is my sleeping bag. This is for warm weather. This is for extreme cold weather. You want a decent cooler. This is the type of cooler I have. And they'll show you what they have, or you'll see evidence of it, or you will see pictures of them when they've gone camping. They're not going to just tell you that they do it all the time and they have zero evidence. you know they will be more than happy to show you. This is the type of tent I have. And they will physically show you the tent, physically actually show you the tent, not just talk words. Okay? It just, I don't know. It's just proof that that person feels really tiny. They feel microscopic. That is the reason why they have to lie and brag and inflate their themselves into these so-called adventures that never took place. And it's just ludicrous, but they're not well. They're not well in their head. They're psychologically severely and physically damaged. So your best bet is to just leave them the hell alone, stay away from them. It's just they're not good people. They've got issues. They've got some serious issues. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, you'll see proof. You'll see evidence. Family and friends will know. Um, yeah, you will see proof. You will see pictures. People that caught a massive fish, honey, they can't wait to show you a picture of that because their friends will be like, "Oh yeah, right. Yeah, right. Nothing. Boom. Here's the picture." Oh, damn. Right. There's proof because they're proud and they want that experience sealed in a picture, so they can always look back at that, go through the photo album and go have a big smile on their face and go, yeah, I remember when I caught that big old fish. I remember that. We were down in Florida when we did that. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be proof, not just words. All right, you guys take care. Much love.